doing more of a SaltEMike kind of video. It's from... I can't remember the name off the top of my head now. It's from the Space Coder, yeah. And it is Star Citizen. Did CIG stop caring about the backers? Let's see.
Recent events regarding... Hello citizens, in this video I would like to talk about some of the recent events regarding Star Citizen's marketing promotions and the somewhat bare release of the 3.16 patch. However, before we get into all of that, I just wanted to thank you all for your support last year. Along with that, in 2022, I would like to increase the frequency and consistency of my uploads. And with that, I would like to ask you, my community, what would you like to see me cover in the near future? Specific topics and general video ideas are all welcome. Drop them in the comments or in the community post on my channel. And as always, if you like the video, sacrifice a like to the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more. And maybe consider supporting the channel and the Armory on Patreon. So let's start with the inconsistencies between CIG marketing and what is delivered and balanced. Let's start with the Ares Ion and how during the 3.16 PTU it got balanced to being completely different from what was originally promised. There is a caveat that comes with all...
Okay, I don't know if I can listen to the Ares drama again. I don't know if I can listen to it. I'm gonna try.
Concepts, and that is that what is concepted may not necessarily be delivered or balanced to match the concept. I think it even says so in small print with every concept release. While this is a great way for CIG to protect themselves legally, it is generally a bad idea to change a core part of a concept.
I don't think you could sue them for them. I do not think you could sue somebody for them balancing a ship in the game. Okay, I don't think you could do that. So I don't think it's like a legal protection necessarily, but
of a ship for seemingly unknown reasons. The Ares is still a good ship. However, it is different from what people bought, so I understand why some owners are upset. Which brings me to the Odyssey, and this is somewhat of a personal note. When the Odyssey concept came out, we saw CIG really hype it up on social media, and we even saw some CIG employees calling it the carrot killer. And then when the Q&A came out, a lot of people ended up being disappointed and found out that the Odyssey isn't much more than a very expensive Quantanium mining platform and not even close to being a carrot killer. Don't take me wrong, the Odyssey is still a good concept and it will be a very useful ship. I just feel like the advertising around it skipped over some important facts to increase sales. I think both the Ares and the Odyssey ultimately fall into the same category of results being different than advertised.
Ooh, okay, I disagree. Completely disagree. The Odyssey is a concept and was their big ship to try to sell that year. I sort of agree with Space Coder on the fact that, like, some things were conveniently left out and vague to possibly sell more ships. The Ares was put into the game, was way overpowered, was blowing up single-seater ships in one shot, and was really problematic. They had to do something in the short term to resolve those problems in order to balance it properly in the future. Also, the Ares was not completing its role in the game and being way better than its role in the game, and they tried to bring it back to where it could really only complete in its role, and now it kind of does. The really good ships to bring down a jump town, to take out the larger ships or take out ground vehicles. The Inferno, same thing. I think they did a decent job with what they had at the moment, and that was it. I don't know. I don't think you could compare the Ares and the Odyssey together at all. But okay, you know, his point of view is his point of view.
And this only reinforces my belief that you shouldn't buy concepts and only buy ships after they release. Now let's move on to the Luminalia gifts.
You know,
there
still
has been some outrage about the contents of these gifts. Personally, I like that we got a knife and a shirt and starter ship skins because most of us still have the starter ships. The two Caterpillar skins were kind of a weird choice since not everyone has one, and just why two Caterpillar skins? And then the final gift was a picture of a concept bike that wasn't announced yet. It would make sense if the concept was published on the same day or soon after, but we still don't know what it is at the time of recording. There has been a suggestion that since Star Citizen reached $400 million of funding, CIG could just give the bike to every backer. I like this idea, but it's probably not going to happen. And that brings me to the lootable Luminalia boxes that could be found all over the verse and how they almost broke the economy. There's not much to say here besides that.
What economy?
CIG screwed up, but they also made the correct step in decreasing their value significantly. However, it doesn't take a whole lot of math to figure out that 1000 credits per box is too much. For example, New Babbage had about 200 boxes spawn all over. The respawn time was about 20 minutes, so in theory you're generating 600,000 credits per hour per server just in New Babbage by picking up boxes. Which brings it way over most other gameplay loops, so obviously players are going to go around and grind picking up boxes. So let's move on to the...
I think that would have been cool if it was like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that's it. Right? Like, I think it's totally fine to have a mission or something that is so good, but for like this really short period of time, and here, holiday event, congratulations, done.
The very minimal release of 316. Here I actually don't have anything bad to say. Some people are upset about the state of 316, and to some extent this is justified. But there were other factors at play that contributed to 316 being what it is. First of all, 315 was very late, which delayed the development of 316. CIG confirmed this as well. Second, this delay pushed 316 development way too close to the holidays, and the devs at CIG need a break too. It's usually the Q4 patch that gets a lot of delays, so this is not really anything new. This year it was a bit worse, but ultimately
Does the Q4 patch get a lot of delays, or is the Q4 patch just thrown in broken as shit every year, and then we have to deal with it over the winter, like we are now?
I think that 316.1 will bring in most of the missing content. However, I am more concerned whether this will cause delays to 317 content. CIG usually have scheduling meetings in January, so I expect that we will find out in the next few weeks how all these delays will affect upcoming content. So what is the conclusion? I have two actually. First, CIG marketing and development are seemingly two almost completely separate branches of the project. And this is a problem. It creates this impression that the CIG marketing team are completely out of touch with the game. And while this is not entirely true, they are somewhat out of touch with the community. And this leads to the cycle of CIG doing something or announcing something, the community getting angry, and then CIG taking it back or trying to go back and change it. I mean, at this point, I am completely immune to the disappointment this leads to. I still have fun with the game, but ultimately this may not necessarily be a good experience for new backers. Second, this doesn't mean...
It's not a good experience for any backers, man. It doesn't matter new or not.
...mean that CIG is necessarily dropping the ball in developing the game. Development is still happening, and according to the progress tracker, good progress is being made. The problem is that this progress is not communicated to the backers properly.
The problem is you're looking at their marketing progress tracker, right? Like the way that they want to display things and the way they want to control the narrative a little bit there. I know they're being really open with it, but I don't think looking at the progress tracker is indicative of determining how well development is going, unfortunately, because it's not a true like roadmap. It's not true. Like, okay, when something finishes on the progress tracker, it doesn't even make it into the game sometimes. It just stops, right? And we've talked to Jake about that. The progress tracker is not indicative of release times or development or something like that. I forgot what he said exactly. So you can't really look at the progress tracker as them making progress, which is, like, hilarious because it kind of is contradictory. But at the same time, I think it's more the marketing team that has too much influence on what is done by the dev team. For example, bringing spaceships in or stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe it's they worked on Jumptown V2 and then the marketing team comes in and brings in a really stupid spaceship. I think marketing team has too much power when it comes to what spaceships and how they look, maybe, and how they're made, whereas the dev team just kind of focuses on whatever they're doing. Like, I don't think the marketing team said Jumptown 2 needs to happen.
And instead, we're seeing this smoke and mirrors game of marketing. This is not necessarily bad. The game does need advertising, but it also needs the backers to know what's going on. With that being said, that's it for tonight. What do you think? Is CIG out of touch with the community? What can they do better? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Fly safe, and I will see you in the verse.
All right, well, cool video from Space Coder. I'll put the links in the chat. I don't know, man. I think I don't think they care about the community the way they used to back in the day, but I think it proves the idea of just not putting out 316 in a really crappy state, even though it is in a really crappy state. I think it's way better doing it the way they did now, and I think it proves that they do care about the backers. So in response to his title, you know, did CIG stop caring about backers? I think they look at us as like their wallet at times, but I also think they showed and proved that they care because they put out a patch that was more stable than we would have gotten. So yes, I do think that they care about the backers. All right. So yeah, good video by Space Coder. First one we've ever watched, so I enjoyed it, and maybe we'll watch some more in the future.